It's me, Aceholyo, the latest, the greatest, your favorite Aceholyo. Ferrite, or inconstitute ferrite. Should we go for a swim? I'll have to use the ship to get back out of there, but could be that bad, could it? I don't really know how close we are to the actual water source. That would be very haphazard. Eeh. If this were another game, I would certainly just go for it for the science. But let's avoid getting myself killed at this point. Yeah. Not finding as many locations here on this planet as I'd like. Maybe we'll need to continue to move on and find another world. Is there an empty one? Not really sure that these ever contain anything, but... Not that yeah, again, I don't expect that there to be anything over there, but... Well, maybe that's all the more reason I should go. Alright, we'll run them. You convinced me. I've got to know now. Is it possible that there won't all just be interesting empty shells? Ooh. Maybe. Seems safe enough. Even a ramp going up into it. It preserves life support even, so it is pretty much a home. Interesting. Okay. More knowledge. Ooh. Floating crystals. Blood. Alright. Again, I just don't have the space to be collecting all the things at the moment. They're not really that valuable. They're not substances that I'm in any desperate need for. Unlike nanites and salvage, salvage something anyways. They're called salvage data. That's what we really want. Oh. Speaking of salvage data, what is that sound? I guess it's probably another ship, but that sounds weird. Okay. We'll go find whatever we can and move along our merry way. Especially if we can get more salvage data. Might as well start marking these since I'm not using my single bit of data navigation computer that can only remember one thing for something else. Might as well mark these and make it a little easier to jump, hop, skip to each separate bit of technology. Doesn't that look gnarly? Interesting. Sweet roll, sweet something, sweet root. Ooh, might have to go up there next. Yes, there's a lot of knowledge fragments, and I do distinctly remember you don't really get a complete operational set of the language until you're right at the end. Like some key words, I'm pretty sure get held off, which makes sense. It certainly makes it you retain that interest in the subject until you've actually completed your library of words of each language. Fine by me. Whoa, how much stuff I got. I'm not gonna look yet, though. Ah, is there something right here I just missed? Missed or not? Ouch. I got it. Certainly gonna just... Oh, wow. Another one. Nah, I'm not really seeing anything in those. Those are interesting. I wonder if they're a work in progress, or maybe that's all they're meant to be. Some previous evidence of inhabitation. Aggressive sounding. Is that just you? Is that you, little dude? I think it might be. Yeah. Get out here. At least till I'm out of your way. A dead thing? Oh, yeah, it must be. Did it get killed by this plant? Well, I suppose that's the nature of aggressive plants. To try to, even if they have to simply sustain the soil around them, it'll get fed. Which is an interesting, growing, friendly, symbiotic. I mean, as much as killing an animal isn't friendly, but I mean, other plants around them behoove that plant, or it's good for them to bonus that plant, to boost it, to warn it about nearby threats and various unusual things that people don't know plants do. Mostly just by a reactive chemical nature, but still, that such a thing occurs, that is really amazing how some of these sort of ecological interactions happen. Not just animals of different species that warn each other, plants have a similar interaction. Ooh. I don't want to be next, though. Find that salvage data. Sooner or later, we'll have a couple of hundred, or maybe even well over a... Well, let me think. Probably no more than about 40 salvage data is what we're going to end up holding on to. At least until we replace our ship and start thinking about trying to increase our... spend more energy increasing our cargo space. Got to get through all that portion of the game before we can... Or at least I prefer to get through that portion of things before switching to trying to advance the game farther and go exploring other types of systems. And yeah, before we'll hit hundreds of worlds, we will try to make our suit and our multi-tool and our ship the things that we really want to use. Not these mildly acceptable, but all in all, just not sufficient items we have now. Risk opening these? Maybe. No, we'll open these. Maybe drop something else. It's a little unfortunate, but I think we're gonna get rid of this nav data. I don't really need it at the moment, so I think I will. Oh, I thought I could use these. Well, in that case, I'm going to toss them. Not that valuable. They're not worth like 10 or 20,000 a piece or anything. I'd really rather be able to keep opening these with no troubles. Floating crystal. We'll mark that one. Of course, we'll go for this knowledge fragment first. See what lies within. Kind of wish my gun would hang off my side when I put it away. That'd be a nice little graphical improvement. I've left this here in the middle of the video to ask you to like, subscribe, check out my Patreon, or maybe just buy me a coffee. Remember, your support is everything. How much do I have? Now the quest is starting to nag at me. Let me grab this and we'll find out. Okay. So, we've got 15 salvage data, so if I want any more, we're gonna have to pointedly make room. Can I split this? If I can, I have the slightest idea how. So, oh, like that? Yeah, there we go. Now I'd rather delete something else than miss out on salvage data. So, my earlier question is, I have about 600. This is okay, but I'm pretty sure I mentioned before, I'd like to have more like 1,200 or maybe closer to 2,000. I'd like to be able to buy 2 or 3 S-Class upgrades when I go to do that. So, we're far from done. That doesn't mean that I can't go spend this one. As a matter of fact, the more I think about it, the more I probably will. Especially just in the interest of trying to unlock other things that come a little later in this game, more spoilery things. Of course, by the way, if you're interested in playing this game, this is probably not long-term, the series for you. Again, it's not going to be much of a tutorial, but I will cover lots of things over time. So, it'll be great to have you along for the journey, whether you've played this game or not, and yeah. Let's see what these knowledge fragments are. War. And alert. Or alert. Say it like an NPC. For some reason. I wonder if people will ever end up making any funny clips. Certainly going to be a lot of clip-worthy things coming out of this stream. Though maybe not all that meme-worthy. Oh, that's kind of a neat-looking one. Weird. Huh. Alright. Up the hill. Oh. Try not to miss any of these. I'm sure I've missed at least a couple. This game does have that effect of getting you turned around and looped past things, and you'll circle back around to where you've been before. It's sort of like getting lost in the woods. Done that a couple of times. Which is, of course, a mixture of both exciting and very scary. I was hiking with my sister one time, and we took what we thought was a path, and we got a ways down it and changed our minds, decided it wasn't actually a path, and never made it back to the original path. So we resumed, and which was not a bad choice. We eventually hit what looked like a service road or something like that, which was still scary because that could be some 2-hour-long drive up into the mountains that ends nowhere. Fortunately, we did make our way back down to the road head. Followed the road until we found a house and said, "Hey, do you know where the the such and such trailhead we were started at is?" And ooh, it was fun. It was scary. We had about an hour and a half before sunset, so it was really good that it resolved the way that it did when it did. We didn't exactly go with any preparation for camping, other than a knife, I suppose. I could have gotten a fire going, but, well, it resolved well, and that's what matters. Certainly been on quite a few treks myself. It's a lot of fun. Be sure to go out into the world. It's not as scary as it might seem. But if you're busy or tired or whatever, you can just try to enjoy a little bit of whatever adventure I'm on just lately here in this format. Are they running from something? Do I have enough fuel yet? I mean, no, never, but... 1,600. Yeah, it's not really accumulating as fast as I'd hope. Well, we're gonna have to keep harvesting it. That's just what I'm gonna be doing. I thank you ahead of time for your understanding. Imagine falling on that. More steps? Knowledge fragments, maybe? Steps it is. 20,000 steps. I've been thinking more and more about my opening splash and my kind of closing splash, I suppose, and exactly how I want to format those. You know, maybe I'll make longer video recording sections and cut them down, and just have the same you know, kind of focusedly made, well-made opening and closing. A little more than the kind of low-end, quiet one I have now. We'll have to make something a little better, that's for sure. But I'm already working on that. I've chased down some sources for that sort of thing, and we'll make it happen. It'll be a little more professional sounding, even more so soon. There's a little dinky dude. You got it, guy. You'll make it. I'm not really sure where you're going. Maybe he's running from me. Alright. We'll leave him to it. See how far we can make it in the next 4.5 minutes. Wow. Alright. I was thinking about this the other day. I had an interesting experience where I set a target, and that target was like, you know, 3 days away or something like that on foot, according to their estimation, the time that they allotted for it anyway. And I spent about 4 hours traveling towards that target and only shaved about an hour off of the time. So it's pretty crazy how big some of these worlds are. I guess maybe I'll have to get myself an exocraft. Yeah, that might be fun. We can roll around in a vehicle. Ah, that'd be much better. Look forward to that. We're gonna make that happen. It'll be much more elaborate and maybe a little more crash-tastic. But we're gonna need loads of salvage data to make that happen. So, or before I want to switch my efforts to making that happen. Or no juice. All right, there we go. The many easy things. As long as you keep a little bit of track on your supplies, hardly nothing will hold you back in this game, even if you're not great at games. Like me, pretty great at games. I certainly have my genres I don't prefer. I've been good at everything. Pretty much. Anything I've ever set my mind to, that is. Alright. Not bad to have microprocessors. Okay. That's pretty close. Ouch. Nice. Hard fail. Whoa, what is that? Structure. Tell me what it is. What do I get out of this? Nothing? It's rich. Okay, alright. But I won't get nothing if I have no space for it. Maybe we can recharge some things and then toss the extra silicon. It's probably exactly what I'm gonna do.
Technology recharge.
Well. Gluttonous flesh. Ooh, that sounds pretty. Like it eats things. It's flesh that is hungry. Oh, that's very scary. So rather than gray goo, it's pink goo. Teach me things. I learned the word for all. Imagine that's the most. I wonder how often some of these words come up in conversation within Viking society. Nothing wrong with having a little bit more knowledge. Every word I have is one more word that I don't not have, right? I think I worded that correctly. Someone should go back through that and figure it out for me. Just to try to increase our community conversation. Get more people involved. That sort of thing. Ooh, whoa. Nice. Battle. Try to make something great out of that. Ooh, purple. Is this just me, or is this a slightly different one? It really looks like it. Well, maybe they're all purple, and I've just not noticed it before now. Maybe they're different in this area. It could be a regional species variant. It prefers the slightly warmer climate in this more equatorial area. Yeah. Oh gosh, what? No way! I found a little hole. Jeez, okay. Nothing down here trying to eat me, right? It's not like a cave full of teeth. That's what it looks like. Gnarly. Alright. Alright, let's make our way out of here. Whoa, oh, that's that plant. Not a problem. Not missing out, not hurting on collection of more silicon. More spaceships. Wow, that one really caught me off guard. Yeah, not very sharp edge. Neat. Ugh, I'm glad that didn't hurt me that much. Not trying to die very soon. Just like that one. Oh, another one. I found something else. What we got here? Hypersweet? Mordite, huh? Bizarre. Isn't Mordite the stuff you get out of animals? I wonder what the deal with that is. That's maybe the vegan option. There we go. We're gonna have to go around this? Nah, you know, maybe it's time to go back to outer space. Yeah, let's do that. What was that? Creatures. Oh, can I make creature pellets now? Craft bait. Oh, I use the bait from here. I see. Okay. Let's take off. emptied my launch thruster. Maybe we'll go check out that ancient ruin after a quick visit to the trade center. Ooh. Okay, there we go. Oh. Now, if I scan around for a minute, don't look at the sun too long, I should be able to find it. Oh, is that a freighter? It looks like one, at least from here, but I don't think it is. I think we have to get a little farther. We should be able to follow those lanes and see it. Yeah. Yep, definitely gonna have to write the developer about that. I'd like to have our standard radar. Is that it there then? That's my guess. Whoa! Gotta make the trip. If you like the video, be sure to like, subscribe, notify, comment, tip, or help in any way you can. Check me out on Odyssey, YouTube, Patreon, or buy me a coffee. Till next time.